Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk about sacred sexuality and the work that I've been doing, and also as part of my integration from my ISTA Level 2 training. ISTA is the International School for Temple Arts, and I recently came back from the Level 2 training, which is the sexual, spiritual, shamanic initiation. And so while I'm not going to talk about exactly what happened inside the container, I really want to talk about what sacred sexuality is, what I've been doing, what my path with it has been like, and just offered as a journey, as a spiritual path of being embodied and feeling that pleasure is our birthright, and that we all have a right to claim our pleasure and to feel fully alive and ecstatic in it. So before I get into that specific, I just want to tell you my story a bit. So yeah, I never had problems with like orgasms. I've always been very orgasmic, but and it's always been easy to achieve orgasm with pretty much anybody, but I didn't really get that much pleasure from it. It was just like oh, there it happened, let's check off the box that everybody orgasmed, and now we can sort of stop, and so it's never really been that satisfying for me, sex, even though it was very orgasmic. With multiple partners, with different partners, long-term partners, short-term partners, one-night partners. And I always thought that there was something more to sexuality than just really like a genital sneeze, And through my work, through all the work that I've done on my emotional body, on my mental body, and on my inner child wounding, I managed to attract a partner with whom I could explore sacred sexuality, and where I could explore sacred sexuality on my own as well, because we are responsible for our pleasure, and we can only experience our own pleasure and share that with somebody else. Nobody can give us pleasure. It's our birthright. We have it in us. And so I've been on this journey of sacred sexuality and tantra and sexual shamanism for a few years now, learning and working with people and practicing by myself, with my partner, with other people, and learning how to embrace my sexuality and my life force energy and my embodied divinity, not just in the bedroom, but in life in general, and in the way that I move, in the way that I present myself, in the way that I feel as I move through the world, as I interact with people, and it's been quite a ride. And so I just want to say before everything that sex and sexuality is not something that is like boxed in to two people being naked, rubbing genitals, or self-pleasuring by yourself in the bedroom, and that's what sexuality is. That's not it. That's far from it. That is a very, very shallow approach to sexuality. Sexual energy is life force energy. It is the ecstatic current that runs through us. It is the creative energy. It's the life force. It's the manifesting energy. We can manifest so much with sexual energy, because our orgasmic pleasure energy has direct receptors to the brain. So we can actually reprogram our brain so much with pleasure in a lot of ways, easier than with pain. It's just that it takes a little bit more work to get to the pleasure. And so it's this deep life force energy current, and it's about deep connection. Sacred sexuality is a spiritual path, and it can be practiced alone, it can be practiced with a partner, and it's really about connecting to yourself, connecting with the other, and through that, connecting with the divine. Yeah, connecting this life force energy, tapping into it and experiencing it in an embodied form, and in that way coming higher into the place that transcends. Yeah, it's something to be experienced, not so much to be, explained with words. And so pleasure is our birthright, and it is the combination of relaxation in motion. So we can really experience pleasure when we're fully relaxed and we're moving that energy. We're dancing, we're making love, we're singing, our bodies are relaxed. The ecstatic energy current is running through us. And we can't feel that when we're tense. So, some people that I work with, they can only orgasm if they like tense up and like rub it out, That's not pleasure. It's like a release of energy. That's a genital sneeze. It's feeling the current that is really about the sacredness of it all. And we get there through 3 steps, through sound, breath, and movement. And so when we are exercising our sound, when we're sounding ourselves, vibrating our body through sound, when we're moving our body, and when we're breathing and staying present in the moment, that is how we get to this place of relaxation and motion, of pleasure. And then you can feel it rise, you can feel the energy rise. The energy that builds in your genitals can begin to rise through your entire body, leading to body orgasms, which are one of many types of orgasmic pleasure that you can have. Energetic orgasms. It's like the expansion of consciousness knows no bounds. So it's really about sound, breath, and movement. So as you self-pleasure or are in a connection with your partner or a partner, try out sound, breath, and movement. And there's various techniques for that, and I'm not going to get into that in this video, but really all the techniques of sacred sexuality, of Tantra, are couched in sound, breath, and movement. And that's pretty much kind of it, And if you want to take this work further, or if you want to experience some of this with your partner, get in touch, because I do work with couples, and we work in the video, in the online format, so you can turn off your camera or even the sound on the Zoom, and really practice these things in a tight container with your partner, and me just kind of being as a guide. You can also do this by yourself. Many deep tantric teachers say that before, and I agree with this, before they choose to share sexual energy with others, they first share it with themselves, and that's 100% true. And the techniques of sound, breath, and movement, the really key there is presence. When we're present with ourselves, with our partner, when we're in the flow and we're not thinking about the dishes or how my body looks or the fact that I need to fart or like whatever, or if you're pleasuring them enough or if they're pleasuring you enough, you're present and you can focus on the pleasure. So that is a kind of a quick summing up of what sacred sexuality is. It is a path. It's a spiritual path in an embodied form to expand states of consciousness through Eros. Eros is the energy of love, of being turned on, of feeling, the ecstatic current moving through your body. And Eros is the gateway to creation. Eros is what makes us feel alive. It's the way that we feel alive, and it's the magnetic energy that pulls what we want into our sphere of consciousness. So definitely, it's a really beautiful path. I encourage everyone to take a look into it, to work with it. And it's not about kind of sex or being sexual or, I mean, it is about being sexual, but it's not about like genital, energetic sex doesn't even involve touching. It doesn't have to involve touching. So I'm gonna leave it right now. And I encourage you that when you self-pleasure or you're with someone, focus on sound, breath, and movement. And if you can't focus on those things, then get in touch, get in touch. And if you find that you're not relaxed and you're not feeling pleasure, get in touch as well. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out why, how to get you in the state of relaxed pleasure. All right, all my best.